Okay, so let's talk some Justin Fields for a second. I think, I took a couple weeks off with the Justin Fields stuff, coming back here. So what's been going on with Fields? I mean, you look at his numbers. The numbers are, well, I mean, they're terrible. He's the third worst quarterback in terms of yards per attempt. He's the second worst quarterback in terms of passer rating, only ahead of rookie Zach Wilson, who, I was a huge fan of. So there you go. But what's the deal currently with Fields? He's also Pro Football Focus's lowest graded starting quarterback. So what's going on? Is this true? Are there legitimately some bad stuff here, or is it just rookie growing pains? Let's get into the film and let's just talk about it. So let's start off with some good, because there was some legit good. I mean, again, every game, if you're a Fields fan, there's stuff to like about it. Like, there's stuff to make you say, see, that's why I like Fields. So I get it. This is a good example. It's going to be zone coverage. It's quarters coverage, just sort of an out route underneath the corner, sort of deep. That's where Fields wants to throw the football if it's open. Right when this play starts, so you see that, at this point, it's relatively open. It's not wide open. I mean, depending on the break the corner makes on this one, it could be complete, it could be incomplete. You kind of just have to see. But I mean, look at this throw. Fields just pushes the ball down the field so well, incredibly accurate, and they're able to get a solid completion there. So really good stuff from Fields on that play, I would say. And that's kind of the stuff that he can do. These on-script plays, he's doing a really good job of. Like, this one's another one where it's going to be a very similar play. It's a zone coverage play, cover two. You have a receiver who's going to kind of get into a gap in coverage right here and watch what happens. So look, Fields takes the snap, and as you see, I mean, it's a throw he should make. Like, there's certainly going to be a window for him to make this throw. Not necessarily a huge window, but there will be a window, so I think Fields should take this chance. As you see, Fields is going to put it right on the money, pretty far down the field as well. I mean, we're talking, 25 yards down the field. That's pretty, far down the field and very accurate. So good stuff. However, there also is some stuff like this. So what's going to happen is that it's man coverage and you have a receiver who's running a route over the middle. And this is going to be a good example, I would say, of a high degree of difficulty play that he didn't make. Watch how right when this play starts, so you run the play action, and you see down the field, I mean, this is not, like, open, really. I mean, this is a tough throw for Fields to make, and, even if he makes a perfect throw, it might not be complete. So it's a tough play. Like, I want to make that very clear, but also look at the throw. He's going to just overshoot this one, so that is what happened. Like, we can say what we want about it. He, was not able to give his receiver a chance. Would that have been complete if he made a perfect throw? I don't know. But again, not a big deal. It is something I saw. Also, this play, so the way this play works is to get the first down, you need to get the ball to the 50-yard line. That's where you're trying to get the ball to. So that's the play. It's second down, so you do have another play if you don't get it. But you like to get the first down here. Against this type of coverage, there is a quick route that can work and can get you the first down. Right when this play starts, Fields takes the snap. He's going to look over, and, there is a window, right? It's similar to the last play. It's a tough play to make, but, it is one you can make. However, again, Fields just a little bit off. Not by much on this one. The other one was more off. This one, maybe it could have even been a communication thing. I don't know. But, something I noticed. Not a horrible thing. His accuracy, I would probably say, has been pretty good. But there have been missed throws as well. This next play, this was his worst play of the game. This was by far, this made me go, oh my God, you got to make this play. You got to make this play. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So the way it works is it's quarters coverage, which you typically think, okay, quarters coverage, pushing the ball down the field, that's going to be tough. Well, not always, because if you run a play action, the safeties have to get into the play if they're going to stop the run. So they might step up a little bit. You can have a receiver run over the middle. This is actually a really good concept that was drawn up at some point during the week by the Bears offensive coaching staff, who I know everyone hates, but sometimes they do, and listen, there's reason to, but this is a good play by them. Look at how, right when this play starts, so you do see the play action, Fields rolls out, and I mean, it's just wide open down the field. Now, in fairness to Fields, you look at him, I mean, he's under pressure, right? So can he really make this throw in time? I don't know. You could argue he should have turned around earlier. It was kind of weird in how long it took him to turn around, but regardless, I mean, again, who cares about that stuff? He'll get better at that. I think it's totally fair to say, like, yeah, the pressure was tough. He couldn't get the ball down the field. Well, that would be fair to say, but keep watching. Look, Fields, jukes him out right here. He's looking down the field. He sees a wide open Chicago player. Everything I keep hearing about Fields is this big arm. Well, make this throw. I know it's far down the field. I mean, we're talking at this point, we're at 40 yards down the field already. So it's a difficult throw to make. But hey, make the throw. I mean, you have a clean pocket at this point because you did a good job of juking out a defender. Hit the wide open Chicago player. Instead, Fields decides to run with the football and gain a few yards. You gained some yards, cool, but you could have had a touchdown right there. So I don't understand that decision right there. You got to make that throw down the field, and that's one that he's probably going to get crushed in film study because you got to make that play. On the flip side, I saw him getting criticized for this play, which I actually don't think he deserves that much criticism for. I mean, I guess what I'll say is it's easily explainable. So what happened was, there obviously was the sort of weirdness on that earlier play where he thought he had a free play, but he didn't, chucks it up, ends up getting intercepted. But that was kind of weird. It was a third down anyways. I don't really put much criticism on him. And I think there was also miscommunication with Allen Robinson, so that also factored in. This play was another kind of similar play, but without that free play aspect. There's a single safety deep, but worth noting about the single safety deep, he's lined up towards the top of the screen. So lined up towards the offense's left. That's worth mentioning before we get into this play. So Fields takes a snap. He's going to immediately roll out right here. So this other safety, the one who was kind of covering the middle of the field, he's essentially just being a robber for Fields. He knows Fields likes to run with the football, so you're going to have a player, this time a safety, who's just aware of that, making sure that Fields, doesn't take off, which, hey, that's some value for Fields right away, right? You're basically having to spend a defender on making sure that the quarterback doesn't run. That makes things easier. You see down the field, you can kind of see why Fields wanted to make this throw. In fact, his receiver on this play, Allen Robinson, even put his hand up a second ago, largely because he didn't know Fields was scrambling outside the pocket, so he felt like the throw should go right then, not it should be sort of a scramble drill type thing. So this is the real dilemma that Fields is in, right? He sees Robinson is, telling him to throw him the football. So that alone, when you see a star receiver telling you to throw him the football, it's not a horrible thing to do it. Like, if he does that, even if it's triple coverage, I'm going to kind of forgive it a little bit. The other aspect is you see the safety now, who I've circled at the top of the screen. You see how far away he is. I think Fields just doesn't realize he's a part of this play. So at this point, which, again, a little bit understandable, right? Because he was so far off to the side. That's a rookie mistake, in my opinion. So not knowing a safety is there is a little bit understandable on this play. And then finally, when he does throw it up, Robinson happened to stop right at that moment. So again, a miscommunication, and it was nearly intercepted at the back of the end zone. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, this is it's a weird play. It's just one of those bizarre, I don't know exactly what to make of this play. I have a hard time crushing him for it. I understand it. It is kind of a rookie mistake type thing. If I got on him for this, then you could literally get on like every rookie quarterback for like a dozen different plays. It's something he kind of has to just learn the chemistry of with his receivers, which maybe he will, or maybe he would have done a little better had he had like a preseason with the number one guys, right? Maybe that factors in. But then we have to go over to this one. I got to be honest. I talked about that the play up where he had a wide open receiver down the field and chose to not make that throw. So that's not great. But there were other plays where I just felt like what are you doing? Like, that's just how I felt. So let's talk about them. This is a third down and short right here. You have multiple receivers who are kind of running deeper routes, another receiver who runs underneath. This is the kind of concept that's designed for one player to get open. It's a very simple read for Fields to make. Also, just so you know the situation, it's a third down. You have to get to the opponent's 49 right here. So third down and 6. Right when Fields takes the snap, I mean, it's taking a little bit longer to develop. I'll say that much about Fields. That's kind of the excuse I'll give him a little bit because we're 2 seconds in right now, and his receiver still hasn't cut, but he's about to, and he's appears to about to be ready to get open. So for Fields, I would say this is probably a throw you have to make. There is kind of some pressure right in front of him, so it's kind of tough just to get it there, but he has a window where he can make the throw. I I think he has to make this throw. I do. Instead, Fields decides to run literally directly into a Green Bay defender. Like, he just ran straight into him. And luckily, he's big enough that he was able to pick up a few yards, but not enough to get the first down. So just kind of an odd decision right there by Fields, in my opinion. I know the Fields defenders will say, no, Jackson, it's actually a good decision to run directly into opposing players, but that's just, I don't believe that. I think he should have thrown the football. Like, this one's another good example of just kind of one of those weird, like, what are you doing, Justin Fields things? Like, I just don't understand what the logic is here. So it's a 1st down and 10. So the concept, very simple. Hit your receiver, gain a few yards, get 5 yards or so, make it more achievable to pick up a 1st down. You're just moving the ball down the field, can't go broke, making a profit mindset. Sure, fine. Fields takes the snap, and what you're going to see right here is that it's basically as open as you could ask for, right? I mean, if this isn't what you wanted, then, like, what were you expecting to happen here? However, Fields instead, while he was looking there, but he never got to a second read and basically just stood there until he got sacked. Like, I don't know what else you wanted to happen there. I don't understand the logic behind that play. I don't get it. Maybe there's some sort of weird Matt Nagy thing going on. I definitely think that, like, Fields does need, like, a better coach. There's no denying that. Forget the X's and O's of it all. He needs someone to basically just tell him, like, hey, make that throw. Like, why are you staring at it when it's open and not making the throw and just waiting until you get sacked? I don't get that. That's just me. Another one is one like this, where this is, so in fairness, the degree of difficulty on this play is absurdly difficult. I mean, this is like, Fields is not going to convert this one, you would think. So it's basically a Hail Mary situation. It's 4th down. You're just going for it, hoping for the best. You see Green Bay in a very prevent defense. You see Chicago in what's basically a Hail Mary concept. All 5 receivers just run down the field. Fields, you throw it up and hope for the best. However, right when this play starts right here, so at this point, you're going to see that, so there is a gap right there where you can make this throw. There definitely is. Like, is there a chance that this one doesn't work out? I mean, yeah, it's a tough throw to make. You're in a desperate situation, but I do kind of think, like, hey, for Fields, maybe make this throw. I mean, you have to get the ball to the 22-yard line. Not maybe, like, definitely make this throw. Now, some people are going to counter this by saying, Jackson, I mean, come on. There's 5 receivers running down the field. Okay, sure, one of them happened to be a window where maybe it could have worked, but you can't expect Fields to see every single player. No quarterback does that. Tom Brady doesn't do that. And that's fine, and I wouldn't be criticizing Fields if he was looking towards his left or something, but he's directly looking at this receiver, so he sees this. So I'm not mad at him for not making the read, because he is making the read. He notices this. I'm mad at Fields for not making this throw. You have a clean pocket. Instead, Fields is going to escape the clean pocket, so now he's outside the pocket. There was a flag thrown. He then just chucks one up towards the end zone, which results in it being incomplete. Like, you had a chance to make that play work, and you kind of just chose not to take it. So, again, I don't know. When I see this, again, people get mad at me when I point this stuff out, but when I see this stuff, I say, I don't love that. I saw it in college. I'm seeing it in the NFL here, and he needs to have a coach who tells him, stop doing this stuff, because he clearly has great talent. Like, the talent has never been my issue with Fields. Like, something like this is a great example where what's going to happen is that it's zone coverage, and you have a player who's, going to get into a gap in coverage right here, right when this play starts. So Fields takes the snap, and you see that sort of the timing aspect of this play, basically Fields has to take this, like, just one more beat and then make the throw. He's in the throwing motion now. This is good stuff. Like I said, on script plays, he does a good job for the most part. He has some baffling decisions, but, like, when he's, like, just, throw, things are going well. As you see, really accurate throw, and you're able to pick up some yards right there. So, again, kind of my whole thing about Fields has always been, I think Fields, you give him a good receiving core and a good coach, he can be good. They just have a bad receiving core and a bad coach, so that's kind of a big issue. Like, something like this is another example of, like, just a really good throw that you can feel good about if you're a Fields guy, where it's going to be zone coverage. You have a receiver who's running a route that's going to basically get right to that 1st down marker. As you see right when this play starts, so, at this point, there's not a ton of separation. The nice thing you do have is the corner kind of has its hips turned towards the top of the screen, and it's a little bit further deep, so you can make this work, but it's going to be tough. However, again, look at this throw. I mean, just a really pretty throw that you're able to pick up the first down right there. Really good stuff by Justin Fields. So there is some stuff to build off of for sure. There are some criticisms as well, and I think anyone who watches the All-22 can see, like, oh yeah, like, there's a lot of issues. Like, there's things he has to start doing better. So that's okay. He's a rookie quarterback. I'm not crushing him. Definitely, I feel like there is still potential here, but he hasn't been great so far this season. So yeah, that's kind of my thing about Fields. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What is your thought on Justin Fields? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.